this moment I understand. I can move my energy in this part of my body and this part in my head. That's so amazing, bro.
Yeah, it's dancing, but that same philosophy can be applied with relationships.
GCHS. Hi everyone, welcome to Good Influence, the best podcast and the number one along millennials. And today is with me Don. Don is my friend, is a really good person. And today we are going to talk about a little big secret we have every single person in the world. But I want Don introduce yourself, please.
Sure.
Thank you for accepting this invitation. Welcome, bro.
Thank you for inviting me on. Well, my name is Don, and I live in Ecuador, in Vilcabamba, con mi amigo, my friend Juan, and I've been here for 3 years so far, almost 4 years in Ecuador. I have lived in China and Taiwan and traveled a lot of the world and spent a lot of time reading and researching and studying about the truth and esotericism and psychology. And,
Amazing.
So now I do life coaching and have a lot of fun.
Amazing, bro. That's amazing. Okay, when I meet Don, I thought this boy have something, and that's true. You have a really good energy and really high vibration, and I feel this, bro. And I have this question, bro. What is your history with energy? How did you know this word in your life?
I think that when our parents are not aware of themselves, and we live in an environment that is unaware of deeper things, deeper truths, a lot of the times we become very depressed and angry. And we shut off our emotions. And I reached a realization in my life because I was very angry and bitter and depressed for a long period of time in my life.
Wow.
And I reached a point where I said, I don't think that this is what life is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is the purpose of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And after that, a friend of mine, I was like 19 and I was very angry and depressed. And I was at 19, my friend recommended that I try Psilocybin mushrooms.
Okay.
And that was crazy. I did a lot of mushrooms in a graveyard.
Okay.
At night.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of spirits and saw very interesting. It was very scary. But it was fine. I learned a lot from it. But it made me realize that there was so much more to life than just being depressed, you know?
Yeah.
And there was so much more outside that I could discover and that I could be and that I could learn. And it was at that moment that my mind switched to say, okay, I'm starting to see the truth. What does that mean? Because at first the truth is scary.
Yeah.
But then it gets exciting.
Yeah.
Because when you know or see part of the truth and you feel it inside of you that says, this is true, you want more and more and more. It's like an addiction, right?
Yeah.
And you realize that a lot of your life is a lie. And so you spend a lot of your time realizing that there's so much truth to be found, and that's all within you. And it was only until I read the book, The Kabbalion,
Wow.
that
Yeah, that's a good book, bro.
that articulated and said that everything is energy.
Yeah.
And that depending on your mind and your heart, and depending on the quality of your thoughts, determine the quality of your actions.
Yeah.
And the quality of your thoughts influence the quality of your emotions. And so if you have quality thoughts, you have quality emotions. With quality thoughts and emotions come quality actions, which bring a quality life. And your entire environment changes when you change. That's why I'm here, instead of being in the United States, for example.
Yeah.
And so my whole life has been about energy. And everybody's life has been about energy. It's a question of if you know it or not, and are you consciously choosing what energy you're emitting. Yeah. Right? It's a conscious choice.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's so beautiful, bro. Thank you for sharing this.
Of course.
Your history. Amazing, bro.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, every single person have these moments, hard moments in his lives, and most people think don't have solution.
Consider if you master your mind and you master your emotions, you master your experiences. And most people think that they are a victim of their environment.
Yeah.
And if you've had a challenging environment and a challenging life, it's hard to not believe that.
Yeah.
I get it. If you live in poverty, it's challenging. I've been in poverty before. I have. And it's very hard. But ultimately, what you are in control of, the only thing you're in control of, are your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Those are all you're in control of.
Absolutely.
And what energy practice does, like Qigong or meditation or anything, is it shows you how to control those things. It shows you how to master those things and teaches you that you are the captain of your ship.
Yeah.
And when you know that, and when you know that you are not a victim of your circumstances, and that you can control the circumstances and situations and events and people that come into your life, that's when your whole life changes. Because you're not a victim of everything else, you are just controlling it yourself. And it's empowering. And with that power comes a lot of joy and a lot of excitement and a lot of peace and a lot of fun, because you know that the only thing keeping you from getting to what you want to do or want to experience is yourself.
Yeah, you can make your life.
Exactly. And that's cool and it's exciting, because at that point you realize that there is no limitation.
Wow.
The only limitation is what you put in your mind.
Yeah.
All is mind.
Yeah. Right.
If you believe that you can't start a podcast, guess what? You're not going to start a podcast, but you're starting a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Right? Cheers.
Cheers, bro. That's amazing, bro. Yeah. Unbelievable. Your words, your beautiful words, bro.
Thank you.
And you know, every single person, or most people think, I am a victim of my circumstances.
Yes.
I don't have the control. And that's fake, bro.
It's not true.
Yeah. It's the real situation is you can make your life every single day.
Yes.
with your decisions.
Your decisions,
Yeah.
your thoughts,
That,
your actions,
yeah.
everything. There's a word. It's reality. It's cause and effect, but it's also called consequentialism,
Yeah.
where everything that you do will always inevitably have a consequence to it, good or bad. So if you are speaking loving thoughts, speaking loving words, thinking loving thoughts, and doing loving actions, healing yourself, forgiving yourself, doing things that bring you joy, doing things that bring other people realization and awakening, eventually those things are going to come back to you. You reap what you sow. That's what the Bible said.
Yeah.
And there's a science to it.
And you can see the bigger picture.
Yes.
Yeah. You can see the bigger picture is the white place and the black place.
Yes.
You can see.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing, bro. Thank you. I love this.
Of course. Yeah.
When I start in practice martial arts is a really practice for control your energy.
Yes.
That's amazing. When I start in practice, when I hit the punching bag, I feel pain.
Yes.
With my strength. When I punching back with my strength, I feel pain. But when I hit punching back with my energy, I feel nothing.
Yes.
and I thought, that's amazing, bro. That's crazy. That's cool. Everything. But most people don't know the energy is the more powerful in the universe. And I want to ask you, why do we have more powerful using our energy than our strength?
Okay. So why is energy more powerful than our strength?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let me think of an analogy. Consider this, that humans think that they have all the answers. They think that they know better than nature. They think they can control nature.
Yeah.
They think that they can manipulate it, but they can't.
Yeah.
And humans have sought to control and manipulate nature and other humans forever. And that's fundamentally based in fear.
Yeah. Fear.
Because if you lose power or lose control, it often makes people feel very uncomfortable. How can I pay my rent? What can I do? How can I do this? How can I do this? And then people get into a state of scarcity and lack, and they forget that God is infinite. It has everything all the time, forever. But humans don't, because human body dies. I can, get hurt.
Yeah.
And our minds often are filled with pride, thinking that we know what's best, but we don't actually know what's best. This is approaching things from our mind, through logic, through reasoning. There was a great quote that said, "It took an intelligent person to make an atomic bomb, but was that a wise thing to do?" So wisdom is intelligence and the principle of the heart. So when we say, what is energy? Energy is using the power of the divine that is all around us. This field of chi, this field of life force that we're swimming in all the time. The most recent science shows that we are living in a sea of conscious energy. That this is part of me, and I'm part of you, and this water is part of me. And it's all the same energy, just showing and expressing itself in different ways. So the reason why our bodies are not as powerful as this energy is because, is a drop of water in the ocean more powerful than the ocean? No. The ocean is much more powerful.
Yeah.
Why? Because it uses all of the energy.
Yeah.
As opposed to being part of the energy. So if that drop of water in the ocean learns to move with this cosmic energy, it no longer becomes about you, Juan or Don, doing it. It becomes about us letting go of our minds, letting go of control, letting go of pride, and letting go of fear, and surrendering to the higher power that works through you.
Wow.
And so it's not, so we don't do anything. We just show up and offer our minds and our hearts and our bodies to that greater power. And then it becomes easy.
Wow.
Because we're not trying to force something. We're allowing it to happen through us. And that's what life is. You know, you can equate that to martial arts. And the word dojo means the way of life in Japanese. In Chinese, Dao means the way. That's where you get the Tao Te Ching. That's where you get Taoism, right? So Dao means the way. So the dojo represents life.
Yeah.
And so when we approach life and we're trying to figure it out ourselves by controlling things and by getting angry and becoming reactionary, we only can get so far.
Yeah.
But when we surrender to God, the higher power that moves through us because we are part of God, life becomes very easy. And you don't have to worry. And you don't have to fear. And you don't have to stress.
Wow.
And then your life becomes stress-free.
That's so beautiful, bro.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I love this concept. Everything dancing with the rhythm of energy.
Yes.
Yeah. And I learned this in martial arts.
Yes.
In martial arts, you remember when you told me this movement is dancing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I understand. In this moment, I understand. I can move my energy in this part of my body and this part in my head. That's so amazing, bro.
Yeah, it's dancing, but that same philosophy can be applied with relationships.
Yeah.
The same philosophy can be applied with conversations.
Yeah.
So, for example, we could have an argument, and you get very, very angry. So, in martial arts, you can be aggressive, and I can just be very calm. So, how would I do that? I might lower my voice.
Yeah.
I might go slower. I might be understanding. So that is a different form of martial arts. You're dancing with the energy. They have very intense energy.
Yeah.
You know, like being in Latin America, I find that the Latin culture is very fiery, very spicy, very fun and energetic. While being in Asia, it's very calm and cool and quiet. Very different energy.
Amazing, bro.
But that in and of itself is, and they like the fiery hotness. They liked when I came and was assertive, you know. And I find that Latina women, for example, find me as not as machismo, which is a very fiery energy, and they like that.
Yeah.
So opposites complement.
Yeah.
That's all energy in relationships with other people.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just another reflection.
Yeah,
it's another reflection.
Now, we have a lot of practice for learn using our energy or control our energy.
Yeah.
For example, martial arts, meditation, yoga, and etc. But in your experience, not your experience, for what practice do you recommend for those who are just starting this path?
Well, I think it's important to just pick one, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I do too.
Yeah.
Because one is more active while one is more passive.
Yeah.
So I practice something called Qigong,
Mm-hmm.
and Qi in Chinese, Qi means energy or life force,
Yeah.
and Gong means to cultivate. So Qigong means to cultivate life force or energy.
Cool, bro.
And it's very slow, and it's very calm, and sometimes that's very boring for people. But I also practice martial arts, and depending on the martial art that you do, it can be approached from a very muscular, very physical thing, like how hard can you punch, or as you and I have experienced, it can be a more of an energetic thing. So I think a lot of the traditional styles, like Kung Fu or karate, or Aikido possibly, are all energetically based, as opposed to very muscular based, like Krav Maga or Muay Thai, which are effective martial arts. But if you want the energetic implementation within that, I would look at the older forms of martial arts that are based in energy, like karate. Getting started, I think recognizing that having a spiritual practice in general is extremely important.
Yeah.
Some people think that it's silly or stupid, or that reading is I'm not going to pick on Christians, but like reading the Bible, for example, that is considered a spiritual practice by some, but it's just approaching things on a mental level.
Yeah.
The thing about a spiritual practice is that it has to incorporate all three things: a physical practice, a mental practice, and an emotional practice.
Yeah, even walking is a spiritual practice.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly, yes. And so one thing that I think is a good practice to do, is not necessarily one I recommend to be the only thing you do, but is like breath work, breathing. Breathe, like literally, you're just breathing. There's a certain way to do it, but if you keep doing that for like 30 minutes, you have profound realizations. Some people cry, some people laugh, and it's very profound and very deep. And
it's really powerful, bro.
It's very powerful. Personally, for me, I think Qigong is the most effective in terms of learning how to control and master your energy. But martial arts is also equally as effective, and I would say more practical in terms of life, but you need to make sure you have a teacher that is not just approaching it from a mechanical, physical perspective, as opposed to an energetic, spiritual perspective.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much for your. You are a really wise.
No.
Yeah, you are a really wise man, bro. That's amazing. Thank you, bro. And now, this is the last question, bro.
Of course.
Okay. What message can you leave to all the people who listen to this podcast?
Oh wow.
In one sentence.
One sentence, yeah.
Or anything, bro.
Just sticking with energy. I would say that you're ultimately in control of your life, and that when you live with the highest of love and service to humanity, that is when the most exciting, and that is when you have the most exciting and rewarding life. And that if enough people do that and follow your example, you can create a heaven on earth.
Amazing.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Being the change that you want to see. And knowing that you don't have to figure it out yourself. It's not the muscle.
Yeah.
It's the energy. So you don't have to figure out all of those tough questions yourself. You have to rely on the divine, rely on God, rely on the universe, rely on Christ, whatever. And that's what ultimately will create a a heaven on earth is realizing that power is within you.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, bro, for being here.
Thank you.
And now, thank you for you in the other part of the screen. I hope you can learn anything in this podcast. Thank you for watching this video, and see you the next opportunity. Bye, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Corte. Thank you, bro. That's
Thank you,
amazing,
brother.
bro.
Of course.
Sweet, bro.